someone came across my account and suddenly I had moms from school texting me and leaving voicemails saying that she had to leave the school. But I saw a story this week about a mom whose kids were kicked out of their school because she had an OnlyFans.
That's so sad.
And I'm sure this is not the only time this has happened, but it was the first I saw of it where like someone outside of the single person was affected due to a person's decision to start this account. So her name is Crystal Jackson, and she started her OnlyFans in 2019 as a way to sort of spice things up in her marriage. So it was her and her husband who were both making making this content together. They've been together for 14 years and they just started their OnlyFans. She goes as Mrs. Poindexter, and her page was really, really successful. In the first month on the site, she was making over $1,500 a month. And now she has over 500,000 followers and nets more than $150,000 every month from her OnlyFans.
Okay, so
which is
her
crazy.
Being fired as a teacher. It's not.
No. She wasn't fired as a teacher. Her kids were kicked out of their school.
Oh, right.
She's not a teacher.
Just took that out from. Okay, that's really fucked up.
Yeah. And so when she first started it, her whole like the branding that her and her husband were doing were sort of this like, you know, nice girl next door type of energy. And obviously it was going really well, like making a decent amount of money. And then some of her like classmates' parents discovered the page.
How'd you find it, Mr. Dixon?
That is part of what I'm really curious about, is like how'd you find it? Are you on those pages? Are you any better or worse for consuming the content than for making it?
She better sue. Well, I don't want her to waste her money on lawyers.
Well, and that's the thing. So someone from the school, according to her, she says, someone came across my account and suddenly I had moms from school texting me and leaving voicemails saying that she had to leave the school. Some women from the area actually printed out pictures that she had posted on her OnlyFans and mailed them to the principal of her children's school as a complaint.
Psychopath.
Which is
the fuck? You are
so
so miserable in your own life.
It's really fucked up. It's such a betrayal. Well, and this is like my deepest fear for you on the page, is that someone would take your content and share it in a place that it was not intended to be shared, outside of a consensual, like agreed upon way.
Yeah.
And it's so cruel. It's so malicious. She was called disturbing, disgusting, horrifying for doing this totally normal, natural
what about
thing
her
with
husband?
her husband. So the articles that I saw really were not focused on the husband, because of course we want to criticize women as a culture, not men.
That's so fucked up.
So I don't know exactly how long it took to go from the emails that she received and the harassment she was receiving from these parents to actually being kicked out of the school district. But she recently received an email from the Sacred Heart Parish, the private school that her kids attend, saying that their family is not welcome back. So the email from the principal reads, "Your apparent quest for high-profile controversy in support of your adult website is in direct conflict with what we hope to impart on our students and is directly opposed to the policies laid out in our parent-student handbook. We therefore require that you find another school for your children and have no further association with ours." And it's sad.
I'm just a little speechless.
I'm just a little upset.
I mean, I guess I'm not surprised, but which state is this in? Do you know?
This is in Sacramento, California.
I don't know what the views are, the political.
I think California is generally viewed as like pretty liberal, but the fact of the matter is, like, people hate sex workers and they hate women who are comfortable with their sexuality.
Yeah, your views are contrary to our school.
Right.
Like, okay, you don't believe in being a unique individual who does what they want despite vicious housewives. I guess that was a little. And
I mean, of course, like I don't think we've delved into religion too much on the podcast, but of course,
we dabbled.
Religion is very restrictive in the way that we allow women to embrace or explore their sexuality. Like, as a blanket statement, like, that is how, like,
Absolutely.
religions at their most, intense are. They're like super sexist and anti-feminist, and it's very unfortunate. And the school, of course, is allowed to say, because it's a private school, it's allowed to say, you can't go here. And that's what they did. I really like her response because I think it's a mature, level-headed way to kind of take this in stride.
What'd she say? She
says, I'm still the same Crystal I was 2 years ago, a year ago, when we had coffee, and before all of you knew this. The only difference is that now you're judging me. And it's like, and and it's like, doing sex work doesn't change who a person is on the inside. It just changes how people view you on the outside. And that's unfortunate.
Wow, dude. I really, really love that.
Yeah. So I feel like this was an important story to share because we've all heard about people who've lost their jobs singularly. Like, I do sex work. I lost my job.
Yeah.
But this is a school deciding that her kids are less deserving of the education just because their mother is doing sex work, and like, fuck them.
Yeah. Mary was a whore.
Mary was a whore, and she just didn't want to admit to it.
Yeah.
And you all believed her. So
yeah,
that's on you. Catholics. She definitely had sex.
Hate to burst